changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration to make you simply happy. It's Valentine's Day, so I'm continuing with a focus on love this week. Happy Valentine's Day. And this story is very sweet. It's about a dog and a good Samaritan. So here's what happened. Rhonda Richards was out one day, even though it was raining a bit. She was out in the rain because she had just moved into her tiny apartment 8 months earlier, and she didn't like it. She hadn't even put up curtains or decorated it in any way. What she really wanted was a little house and a dog to keep her company, and she was planning to move to California. So there she was out in the rain, having walked a mile to a nearby lake because she just wanted to be with other people. And Rhonda saw a small dog running toward her along the side of the road. It was black and tan like a German shepherd, but its bent back ears made it look more like a mutt than a shepherd. And this little dog was darting out of the way of passing bicycles, but it was dangerous for it to be there, running along the side of the road. Rhonda realized it must be a stray, and she started to worry about the little dog as she saw it running. And then it happened. The dog was near the side of the road, and a convertible rolled over one of his legs. The driver stopped to see if the dog was okay. He apologized to Rhonda, who was standing there with the puppy, who was badly injured and convulsing with pain. And that driver was actually swaying, as if he had been drinking. And he was asking Rhonda for forgiveness. And all she could think was, you shouldn't have been drinking. Blood started to flow from the dog's nose. And Rhonda and the man dragged the poor dog across the pavement to the shoulder, and then the man got back in his convertible and drove away. And Rhonda stood there wondering what should she do. Then the little puppy revived. He was jerking his legs and neck, and he was trying to stand. Rhonda picked him up, and he didn't resist at all. He just let her hold him. His head was hanging over her bent elbow, and at that point she gave him a name. She called him Hanger. A man on a bike stopped, and he watched Rhonda approach, carrying the dog. And then he tried a pickup line. He said, "Most people let their dogs walk." And Rhonda explained that it was not her dog, and that this dog had been run over by a car. The man was horrified, and he said he would go and get his car, and he would drive Rhonda and the dog home. And sure enough, he sped off on his bike, and he returned 10 minutes later in a black Mustang with a bed of towels in the trunk. They put the dog on the bed of towels, drove back to Rhonda's apartment complex, and then the man said, "Can I call you sometime? Would you like to have lunch?" And Rhonda said no. She was moving to California in a month, but thanks for the ride. The man said, "I'm Todd Cohen," as he handed her the dog. And she said, "Thanks, Todd. I'm Rhonda Richards." And then she said she really had to get going because she needed to call the vet. She took the dog to the emergency clinic, and there a woman in a white coat explained that strays are treated and then turned over to the SPCA. But she told Rhonda, if you decide to keep him, you pay for the treatment, and it's usually about $300. So Rhonda said she would happily pay the $300, and the next day the clinic called and said, "That puppy you brought in is fine." It was surprising, but they explained that the puppy was young and his bones were still kind of rubbery and would heal easily. He would be too sore to walk or eat for a while, but he would eventually be okay. So Rhonda adopted Hanger and decided that she would take him with her to that little rental house in California that she was envisioning. Now, when Rhonda wrote her story, 12 years had passed, and Hanger was still with her. She says that day at the lake changed her life. She said she was staying home more with that dog warming her feet, that he was good with her children, and that he was great with her husband, Todd Cohen, that kind cyclist, the guy who tried to ask her out. She ended up marrying him. I'm Amy Newmark. Thanks for listening today. If you want to read more from the book this story came from, Chicken Soup for the Soul, My Dog's Life, please go to our website, chickensoup.com. Now, today's story for Valentine's Day was definitely an example of a meet cute. I don't know if you know what a meet cute is. It's when a couple meet in an entertaining or amusing way in a film, and it's a Hollywood term. Tomorrow will be another Meet Cute day as we continue to enjoy Valentine's Week.